We'll start with the chapter called How Christ Teaches Contentment. And he introduces the chapter by saying this. They say you must be content. I can remember things like that, people telling me, oh, you shouldn't worry so much, because that is something I have to admit I do too much. And so people would tell me to stop doing that, which was good advice, but very difficult to follow. And he says, they say you must be content, and so on. But Paul needed to learn it. And it was a great art and mystery of godliness to be content in a Christian way. And it will be seen to be even more of a mystery when we come to show what lessons a gracious heart learns when it learns to be contented. Now, the lessons that Christ teaches to bring us contentment are these, and he breaks it into many parts. Point 1 is then broken into several subpoints. This is point 1. The lesson of self-denial. That's the first lesson, self-denial. And he says, it's a hard lesson. Part A. Such a person learns to know that he is nothing. Now, it seems like kind of an odd way to begin a topic of contentment, because feeling that you're nothing would tend to make a person feel somewhat desperately at a loss, empty, unable to do anything. And yet, this is where he begins. Such a person learns to know that he is nothing. He comes to this to be able to say, well, I see, I am nothing in myself. And he doesn't point out these passages of Scripture, but these are scriptures that I looked up that support his point. Jesus said in John chapter 15, verses 4-5, where he initially says, I am the vine, you are the branches. And he says, abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he it is that bears much fruit, for apart from me, you can do nothing. And then in John chapter 14, verse 6, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. And in John chapter 6, verse 53, Jesus said to a group of people, truly, truly, I say to you, unless you eat of the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. So where does this bring us? Well, Burroughs takes a while getting to his point, so I'm going to kind of rush to the conclusion. And I'm going to repeat this verse quite often. In the words of Paul, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. We cannot make ourselves right with God. We cannot accomplish anything worth accomplishing spiritually apart from Christ. But because of Christ, in and through Christ, in us, Paul says, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Point B.